What is going on YouTube? But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight for another night of hot topics and social commentary. A couple things I want you guys to do for me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big red button. Be sure to give us a thumbs up on this video. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know how you think we're doing or give us some suggestions on what you'd like to hear us discuss in the future. Last but not least, be sure to click that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. The crew is back, of course. Again, Jennifer, Tyrone, Mike. What's going on, y'all?
Hello.
Oh, we're here.
Yes, we are here. First things first, we want to give our condolences to the family of a young man who passed away from the incident at an amusement park in Florida. He fell to his death, if I'm not mistaken, from a drop zone. There seemed to be some confusion or some issues with the restraints or whatever the case may be. Not sure exactly what happened, but anytime something like this happens, we're just devastated by it. So, our condolences to that young man's family. So let's get into what you guys are probably interested in hearing what we have to say about the slap heard around the world at this past
Keep my wife's
2000.
name out the
2022 Oscar ceremony. Chris Rock was about to give the award for best documentary, however you want to pronounce it. And so, before he gets into the nominees, he gives a little joke concerning Jada Pinkett Smith, saying he can't wait to see G.I. Jane 2. And Will Smith commenced to laughing, and about 5 seconds later, getting up and slapping Chris across the face. So for me personally, I'll just get my quick thoughts out of the way really quickly. So I'll preface my comments on this situation by saying Will Smith was wrong. 100%. He should not have walked up to Chris and slapped him across the face. I do not condone violence under any circumstances whatsoever. Keep your hands to yourself, all that good stuff. But Will should not have done it whatsoever. No excuses, period. However, I completely understand why Will did what he did. Even though I don't know what his thought process was at that time, of course, no one knows but him. But I feel as though Will had a lot of pent up aggression, a lot of pent up things that he had been holding in, and it seemed like he just took it out on Chris. And to me, it seemed like, like when I watch it and I see him yell at Chris, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." Like for me, that said it to a point to where, okay, he's serious about this. Because initially when I saw the slap, all I saw was the slap, and I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was a bit. I thought it was a part of the show. But then I saw the video of Will saying what he said after he sat down, and I was like, oh, okay, this is serious. And I've never seen Will mad like that, not even in a movie. I don't think he's been asked to be that upset in a movie that I've seen, at least. But it's shocking. And for this to happen on a stage like this, all I kept thinking in the back of my head, look at all these white people in this room and look at what they're seeing and what is their reaction going to be. I don't know. It's crazy, but it's of course has flooded everything under the sun. What do you guys think about it? I don't know who wants to go first.
Zen moments. So, like you said, I do not condone violence, but I couldn't have been Chris Rock. I just couldn't be, because I don't think Chris knew that he was about to get slapped, because I don't think he would have just stood there and slapped. But anywho, when it comes down to the joke, I mean, people make jokes to comedians all the time, and I know celebrities take them. I'm sorry, comedians. Celebrities may get fun of all the time, and I know sometimes it's not actually funny, but I think part of being a celebrity is eating things and just letting it go, even though it's not necessarily funny. The joke wasn't even funny, and I don't think, honestly, I don't think it had nothing to do with the alopecia. I think it just had something to do with her hair being short. I didn't even know she had alopecia because I don't follow them, but a lot of people thought they knew. But regardless of the case, I think it was totally wrong for Will to get his black ass up and go on that stage in front of all these white people and act a damn, I want to say the wrong word, but fool. I'm just gonna say fool.
Mm-hmm.
Because that first of all, it's embarrassing. They already think we're monkeys. We act a damn fool.
Ooh.
I don't care if you felt any type of way about your wife. I would have even been okay if you would have said the cursing and everything, but just get up and walk away and just handle it in the back where we don't have to see it. If you would have stepped in the back and we didn't see it, I would have been like, okay, you handle this stuff in the back. I don't know what happened, but that was embarrassing. Embarrassing. And Lapita I'm Lapita, okay?
Poor Lapita.
Lapita looked like she did not move though, but she was like, this shit getting serious. She didn't even know it was real.
Right.
But yeah, that was just embarrassing. And I'm more disappointed also in Will and also Jada, but also the black community who is praising Will for acting a damn coon. I don't protect your wife. That's not how you protect your wife to me. That's not doing it. Because I feel like you should have an aggressive conversation, and if they still pop off, then maybe fight. But I don't know that award show. It's a no for me, and I don't agree. I think he should be recommended. I don't think he should be blackballed, but I think he should be definitely suspended or expelled. And I feel that Will needs to do a public apology, as loud as that slap was. And I feel like this is how I feel. If I went to the person that I didn't like at my job and slapped them, I would have got fired. Why is it so different from him? He didn't get arrested. He didn't get escorted out. Like this whole thing was wrong. And I'm rambling on, but I'm not for it. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be a black person that night. I'm not for it. That wasn't it, Will.
Right. And I think it was either yesterday or today that they actually asked Will to leave the premises,
I
and
heard that
he
too.
apparently
He refused.
refused. So,
Well, I guess let that be my award show. He wouldn't have been called up on that stage. We would have just skipped over that award.
right.
But the show must go on. And let's give it up for Chris Tuck and Chris Rock, because I think about if that was any other middleman, this show would have been canceled. That would have been the show would be over. Everybody award would have been just mailed out to him.
It'd be a whole entire fight.
Oh, it would be a whole entire fight. Don't let it have been me make that joke. Then one more thing. All the girls saying, "Oh, she has a disease. She has a disease." Yes, I understand. It's something serious. Something a lot of people go through, men and women. But when your neighbor across the street that you don't like got no edges, you don't mind saying that edge, bitch, and this. So don't talk. I don't want to hear about no alopecia or nothing. I don't care right now, because it still don't warrant Will ass going up to that damn stage and slapping Chris Rock. Jan and Tyrone. I wish Lapita would have had a camera on her. She didn't need one because it was on film.
Like Jonathan, initially I kind of got why Will would go up there and confront him. But after looking at the film of him slapping, I was like, all right, this looks fake. This looks rigged.
Yeah, it did look fake.
This looks like a publicity stunt. And then as I think about the joke itself, it's not a real big joke that's going to hit everybody and get them laughing. I mean, there's so much worse that could have been said, But even in light of understanding that she has this issue with her hair, that still doesn't warrant her or Will going up on stage. And I don't condone that that's the way that they chose to do this. They could have did that off camera, man to man. Hey, man, I ain't like what you said about my wife.
That's how a man does.
Don't say that about my wife no more. Or he could have kept it, hey, in the crowd, because they was going to cut it out just like they did.
He could have
yelled.
He could have thrown him up. And,
yeah, he could have flipped the bird or something,
you know what I'm saying?
But stuff like that could egg on certain comedians too. and you know,
But I don't think that would have happened
I don't think
on
that would have
that
happened.
stage.
Not
Not
on that
particular
stage.
Not
stage.
that, not that stage.
Not
that
on
stage.
that night. But
Not their award show.
you know, I'm surprised that they even aired the slap.
Well, it's
Period.
Really?
live. A part of me feels like they couldn't help it too much.
I mean, if
It's
you
a
can
live
cut out
show.
him cursing, you can cut out that
They
too.
didn't see that coming.
Yeah, they when Will walked up there, he didn't even look like he was going to
That's
attack
true.
or
That's true.
slap Chris. And so I know sometimes there's like a 5 second delay
Mhm.
on live programming. So I'm assuming
And
that
he
it
did it
happened
so
so
fast.
fast. Like he really quickly raised his hand and hit him. So I understand why they weren't able to cut it out if that was something that they would usually do. Because like you said, they did cut out him cursing in the audience. So
And I'm
I'm
pretty
assuming
sure
the
that
slap happened too quickly.
And I'm pretty sure that the producers there thought that might be some witty banter going on between Will Smith and Chris Rock, but it didn't happen that way. But as far as my opinion, let me, everybody's giving their opinion of whether or not he should or shouldn't do it, right? Um, it did benefit Chris Rock, of course, because now
Definitely.
his shows are sold out.
Mhm.
People are talking about Jada and Will, and of course, waiting for the red table talk for this to happen.
Won't watch.
Right.
and
Publicity
and
stunt.
also, one thing that I have seen, and so like I said on the last show, I just got off of. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying it, but it's mostly the single women that saying, this is how you're supposed to offend. I mean, not offend,
Protect your wife.
avenge your wife or stand up for your wife. But I believe people that's in a true marriage, true love, understand that when you step outside of that to put hands on people, now you are putting your whole family at risk.
At risk.
Mhm.
You're putting, of course, there could be more fighting, but at risk for jail. That's having to go to prison and stuff like that. That's stuff that will, have us alone, that will fracture us. You know what I'm saying? Actions like that will mess up our lives. That's
Right.
why it's stupid to think that you're going to be saving something by standing up for your wife or husband in that way. And I personally believe like there has to be something, well, we all know something wrong within their relationship for him to feel like that. And also think about it like this as well. He apologized during his acceptance speech for his award,
To
right?
everybody but
Hmm.
He was crying.
Faith.
And I'm over here thinking about Jada. Did you push him to do this? Are you embarrassed? Like what? Why? You know what I'm saying?
She was
What?
gonna
I
take her husband.
fully believe Jada pushed them to do this.
Well, she rolled
I
her
believe
eyes.
so.
She did
I
that
believe
black
it.
woman eye roll. So I mean, you know what that means.
You
Get
better
your
do
ass. You
something.
better do something.
Right.
Because if you don't, I'm calling August.
And that's the thing about them not having the camera on Will and Jada the whole time, because when they cut back to Chris, something obviously happened in the meantime, in between time, that took Will from laughing to standing up in Chris's face.
Right.
So
And it's like maybe she was upset that he found it funny in the first place. Who
that could be
knows? But
well.
there is an issue in all of that. But Regina's from the Juice Radio and Talk Show, the show that I was on earlier today. Uh, I'm not watching Red Table either. Uh,
I will
I
watch.
will watch an apology outside of the platform of
Oh,
Jada.
Jada. Me
Jada
too.
needs to apologize.
Now,
Yes, both all parties.
here's an interesting thing. As we look at Will's past, and I did some research on this. Will is a Libra.
Yep.
I don't
Most
care. He is the
Libras-
sign in the world.
Look, most Libras are non-confrontational.
Yeah.
Non-confrontational.
So here we have a Libra pushed to the brink of confrontation.
I don't know what these you know.
How did this happen? But see, here's the thing. My observation of the Libras in my life, they talk a lot, they don't get physical unless they're really pushed to the brink of doing things physical, or they're coached into doing something physical.
Right.
Okay.
Hold
So potentially, I believe, and I'm alleging this, it's possible, and Jada pushed them into doing it.
I think that's possible as well. And I also saw the interview that Will's mother did, and she said she had never seen Will act out like this ever in his life. And I
Yeah.
think that is extremely telling of
Telling.
the man's mother to say she's never seen her son conduct himself in this kind of manner. And I was
But
thinking the same thing that you were thinking, Tyrone. Me as a Libra, I would never do something like that to anyone. I would never result to violence. But like you said, when you're pushed to a certain point, that's why I said I think Will had a lot of pent up stuff in him. Who it was concerning, Lord knows, but he had a lot of stuff pent up in him that he obviously felt that he had to get out. And I don't know why he thought this was the time and the place to do such a thing, but it is what
okay,
it
okay.
is.
Upon thinking, because my mother is a Libra and my best friend, I call her my sister, she's a Libra also. They're actually 2 days apart. I will say, when they are cool with somebody or love somebody, they will stand up and speak out. Doesn't matter the area that you're in. So I do get that. But you are a celebrity on camera. It makes no. And Jada, like, you've been embarrassing Will for the last 2.5 years. You can't take that out of piece of joke.
Ooh.
Mm.
Regina
Like,
Jada's a Virgo.
She's a Virgo, and
it makes
we
no sense.
know Virgos
And I want to say
to
this
be an
also.
instigator and push
Oh yeah, pushing them.
the limits of things. They want to. There is so much energy around the Virgo spirit with the Libra, and their birthdays are very close together. She's on the 18th and he's on the 25th.
Of what month?
September.
September.
Both of them in September.
I'm sorry, there are dogs outside of our.
I'm like, what is that noise? I was like,
That's our
at first it
pound.
sounded like something else. I'm like,
That's my dog.
Right. But I was also thinking, and I mentioned this on the previous show, on the Juice Talk and Radio show. I mentioned I'm not sure if that was another comedian, if Will would have done the same thing. If it was another comedian, I honestly doubt that another comedian would have gotten the same thing. I don't know. And I also think that Will knew that Chris wouldn't retaliate. And I think that's another reason why Will might have stopped him, because he knew,
Because he got white people money.
Right. And Chris is not going to raise his hand. And Chris doesn't seem to be like a confrontational type of guy. We always see him smiling. And he ended up smiling after he got slapped. So,
surprisingly,
there you go.
I
even in
applaud
his,
him.
his life story, and everybody hates Chris. He was never a fighter in there as well.
Oh, he wasn't actually. His brother spoke out. Actually, his brother spoke out on Twitter.
He's a fighter,
and he was just saying that people were saying, if that was you, what would have happened? And he said it would have been out a different way. He wasn't disrespecting Will, but he was very, very saying very little, but it was a power behind those little words he was saying.
Power behind the sound.
People, I just hope that regular people, us, not celebrities, but us, people who go to work every day, I hope that, because they're all applauding Will. I hope that if you keep saying protect Black women, I hope you know that if your man at home does this to somebody on the street, he's going to jail. He's not going to get off like Will did. So don't think you're going to have the same outcome as
jail
Will.
Or worse.
Okay?
Or worse.
Or getting killed, slaughtered. And you might be getting down with him too if you're right there. So don't think protecting my woman won't get you hurt.
And usually when you're protecting your woman, it's just your girlfriend.
Right. And I also
All
think
your
that
go
this
ahead.
situation does dip into the waters of toxic masculinity, and how men are supposed to react when certain things happen, especially in the African
Away.
American community. You know, you're some men are expected to act a certain way in certain situations, and and that's why certain black people are behind Will on this, because they're supporting him because he stood up for his wife, and that's what I guess we as black men are supposed to do. And
But it seems like it's not a regular black men, but celebrity black men seem to have another thing. What do
Mm-hmm.
you think? What do you think the outcome of this situation will be now? Do you think Will will be hired? Or do you think people will want to be around Will? What would think? You think another award shows will be able to bring him into their facility? What do you think outcome will be?
Ooh,
I personally believe that he's probably not going to be asked to come back next year. I think it's like a tradition of some sort where the best actor recipient, um, uh, they actually present an award at the next year's ceremony. So I'm assuming that he will not be asked to come back next year. I'm assuming he'll probably be suspended from the academy in some type of way. Some people were throwing around the idea that they might revoke his Oscar, but most people are saying that that will probably not happen. I
Yeah,
would
I
not
think so.
expect that to happen. A lot of people are saying Harvey Weinstein is in jail and he still has his Oscar. So, you know, there's
Who
that.
people?
facts.
Oh,
Facts.
okay.
What I think is interesting about that too is uh moving forward, Will does have the potential to flip this into a positive, even though
How?
this is a negative
Yeah,
light.
I don't.
You
Yeah,
know,
how so?
because now he has a story to tell
And a
and
platform to say it
the
on. Now that
platform to say it
everybody's
on.
staring at him.
And so without it's kind of weird in marketing. Some people will flip a negative thing and turn it into a bigger platform. Just like you can kind of say this slap right now has put a bigger spotlight on Chris Rock than it has in the last 5 years.
True that.
This is a reason why his show is selling out, because people want to
Chris
come and
Rock show,
see
yeah.
and hear what he got to say about him getting slapped by Will Smith.
And you know he's gonna talk about it
And you know that's at least 5 jokes off the bat.
unless somebody decides to sue. But I think
What?
he won't sue or
But see,
anything,
he
so he
won't
can
sue
make money off the pain.
because LA asked him, LA County asked him, do you want to press charges?
He
No.
said no.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
But it was a clip today, actually, that aired today of him at his show, his first show back since the slap, and he said, he won't talk about it right now, but he will talk about it soon.
Yeah, because
So
he gotta
that
get the
might
jokes
be a
together.
lawsuit.
He got to get them jokes right.
No, he got to get the jokes together.
And
Right.
You don't just
and you
you don't
can't just jump
use
right
a
into it.
moment like that and just haphazardly. No, we need to get together a whole special. I'm selling this special, and I'm talking like you know how with
Netflix.
Netflix, how Dave Chappelle, there be topics that he'd talk about, and he'd have a whole show just centered around that and make money off of that. I think that Chris Rock can go forward with that, but I also think that Will Smith, he could really show himself to be a victim
Absolutely.
I
because it's
don't
all
think
Jada's fault.
I don't think nobody in victim. I think not me, but we as regular people will be more supportive to Will. But I think the industry don't want nothing to do with him.
Well, I mean,
I don't think that'll be the case.
here's the
I don't think that's
problem,
the
though.
case.
Here's the problem, though. Will has been self-made the whole time, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that's true too.
For
But now
all the stuff that he's done himself
He doesn't
without
have to
the
worry
industry.
about-
He doesn't have to worry about the industry. He can still move forward by himself
he can, but
with
you
his
also need
own
somebody to
money.
back you up though. Like he has, like I'm sure. I don't know everything, but he probably has the I can't even think of the things. The people I don't know. People who like endorsements. He probably has those things. Those people are probably about to back out of it now. And then
I mean,
you had to pitch your TV show to somebody that they're gonna still cover you now.
Like
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
I'm
and
really starting to.
And
Yeah.
Jennifer, I was going to ask you, like who would see Will as a victim? Like, how would he take that
Yeah, I
road?
wouldn't. Black women
Well,
who single black women must be.
it's it's the way that he can position himself, because we know of the trauma that he has possibly been in
That's
being
true.
with his wife.
Right.
And we know from what little bit we saw, it looked like he was laughing at that joke at first.
Right.
And we knew she was looking with the straight face. Now, how you get from ha 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 to mad enough to actually stand up and go on the stage of a national syndicated award ceremony live
Yeah, I
and
don't
slap
know how to say
somebody,
it. Yeah.
that is one extreme to the next. There had, in my opinion, this is Jennifer speaking. My opinion. In my opinion, I do think that she influenced that.
Yeah, of
And I
course.
think
I agree.
and that's how he could be viewed as a victim in this situation. If he wanted to leave her, I do believe that there will be a lot of people feeling sorry for him for what she's done to him, and actually forget how he's actually done his part in things as well. He's had his fun as well. But okay.
I
Wait,
don't
hold
know.
on. There's breaking news.
Breaking news.
People magazine is reporting that Chris Rock shuts down audience member cursing out Will Smith at his of course, at his comedy show in Boston. Of course he will,
Right.
because I think it's also a part of he know that he did a joke. Personally, I don't think that joke was that bad, but he did
No.
offend somebody, and you can't help how people feel. And Jonathan mentioned
Right.
on the last show that we were on,
Comedians
he's
make
going
jokes
through a
about
lot.
everybody. Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true too.
Right.
But he's gone through a lot himself, and I believe everything from all the memes from August Alsina, all the stuff. Who knows? Maybe it
Uh,
finally snapped, but then again, he laughed at first.
And
But
I
it's
better
just a
not hear
main thing.
me and Jonathan better not ever hear that gay people are sensitive, because this shows you ain't only gays sensitive.
Oh,
Okay. Right.
Ooh, ooh,
you
that,
took it there, then.
ooh, that's
But but
spicy.
but
Yeah.
but again, this plays into toxic masculinity. How do
Yeah.
you react when something is said about someone that you love, or something is said about you yourself? It's like,
It's
how do you react to that? Are you going to let,
it's
toxic
still
masculinity take over? Or are you going to
mhm,
deal with it in a mature way?
mature way. It's still a way you handle things accordingly. You don't have to like what somebody says about you, but how you handle them says a lot about the person. I don't have to like what everybody says about me, but does that mean I go slap everybody who says I'm this and I'm that? No. I can ignore you and don't F with you ever again in my life. I
Right.
Basically.
can choose to confront you about what I'm saying, what I don't like about what I don't like
Yeah.
that you're saying about me, and handle it man to man or man to woman or whatever. And then if it gets crump, then at least I did my steps. But I'm not just going up to everybody and slapping them. All right,
If only we could.
yes.
Right.
Even if my sister talking about my mother, and
Come
that's
on.
something you don't play with. My first instinct is not to beat you up. Now I'm going to let your ass have it, but I'm not going to beat
Right.
you up. I'm not going to slap you. So
Yeah.
if I don't do that for my mother, I'm definitely going to do that for my wife or my husband.
Yeah.
If you put your in a joke, I don't think. And my thing is, I think everybody on this news, it wasn't that funny, but it wasn't warranted a slap. It wasn't.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Who knew? I didn't know she had alopecia. When
I
I
she
didn't
didn't
know
know
went
either.
either.
when she
I
went
I
through
had
the
no idea.
And
process
now,
of cutting off her hair on the Instagram that I follow, it was more like a spiritual I am,
yeah,
asleep and stuff like that.
she has her favorite hairstyle.
So it's really difficult for us to accommodate your feelings when we don't know what's going on. I can't, if I talk about somebody to their face and not know that they have cancer and talk about all that stuff, like what am I supposed to do? And how can you get mad because of something that I don't know?
I don't know. And
Right.
comedians make jokes about every single
Everything.
thing. They make jokes about 9/11. hundreds of people died in 9/11. I still laughed at the damn joke. I'm sure somebody who's dead with it didn't think it's funny, but I laughed, and they didn't go there and slap Chris.
But
Oh,
let's
they let me
let's
get that
keep
again.
it funky. G.I. Jane. It's not like she was talking. It's not like he was talking about Rasputia or something like that. It was G.I.
Right.
Jane.
Well, they said, people have to look so further, and they said G.I. Jane also cut her hair. She also cheated on her husband and stuff like that in the
Well,
movie. But who watched it?
Yeah.
and that was literally 30 years ago. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Tyrone watched it.
Did you feel like it was a dig?
At some point, yeah. I like when I got the joke and it went through my mind and cycled through, and I was like,
All the things that
oh,
can be connected.
Yo, that's a dig right there.
But I really
and I
think
can
that
see
she
why
just-
Will would get upset.
But I'm sure they didn't even know about that.
But obviously, Chris didn't think it was that much of a dig because he said to Will, like, it's just a G.I. Jane joke. Like, what's the issue? And then he said once more, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. So,
because she was hurt.
Yeah,
but
right.
here's the
To
thing.
them, she let the whole
she was
wide world
already
know who she's
sensitive
sleeping
about
with
it.
and stuff. But now I can't make a joke about your hair.
But see, this is one of the theories that I brought up in the last show that we were on, that potentially Will and Jada talked about it because Jada was sensitive and already in her feelings about her hair condition.
But he laughed
to the
first.
Girl,
point.
get your wig and move on, girl.
Oh, and then again, she got a nice
Facts.
head. You know what I'm saying?
She
Like,
does.
It
She
doesn't
looks-
look bad.
She has
She
a
looks
beautiful hair.
great
Like, it
with
doesn't
short
look
hair.
So does your daughter have alopecia too? Because she cut her hair off.
Exactly. Lord have mercy.
You
But
know
look,
what?
as a wife, I would hope in that situation, if the tables were turned, my husband was up for an award, and I was there simply to support because he's up for an award. Because I believe that's the only reason why
But they both were
she
up
was
for
there.
awards.
She was up for an award too.
And what?
I wouldn't know.
What was she nominated for?
Child, who
I
knows?
forgot what they had them both up for award that night.
Must be like,
And I was like,
your husband about to
wow.
win. Let you win too.
Okay,
Yeah.
anywho. But at the very end of the day, I would not expect Tyrone to do anything like that. I would stay in my seat, and I would expect Tyrone to stay in his seat as well. Now, as far as what happens after the event, that's on live television.
Live.
Who's to say? Because we all going to be going to the same parties.
Absolutely.
But
We all got to go through that tunnel
Okay.
to get back to our car.
We all got to get our little bag or whatever.
Right.
Speaking of parties, this is why I think Chris Rock should also sue. Okay, this is another slap in my face when I saw you dancing at the after party with your award in your hand. That would piss me off more than the slap if I was Chris. That
But
would
I'm
raise
telling
some
you-
fire up under my
I saw that clip. Bro.
I believe Chris will make more money talking about his pain
Yep.
versus taking the years with an S of suing him. He'll
Right.
get that money faster talking about it versus suing him.
Maybe
Right.
another-
But the
maybe
worst
another
part
2D.
about this, worst part about this is this has overshadowed everything that happened at
Everything.
the Oscars. Not only did Will win, Questlove won for Best Documentary for
Nobody
the
knew.
Summer of
Right.
Soul documentary. There was the first queer Latina woman who won for Best Supporting Actress in West Side Story. Like all these historic things. Denzel was nominated for Best Actor. Like all
3
these
comedian
historic things.
hosts.
Right,
We're
3
all
historic, like all these huge things produced by a Black man. All
Overshadowed.
these huge
Samuel
things,
Jackson.
right? All of these large things that encompass everything about the 2022 Oscars. Everything is overshadowed
I
because
hope
of
he
this.
gets expelled from the Oscars.
And now, the thing that we saw Kanye do back in 2007, ain't nobody gonna be talking about that no more. Nobody.
He's gonna
That is
do another
old
rant.
news.
I think Kanye handled it more better than Will Smith, and that's sad to say. Kanye, at least Kanye had a point. I will say that.
Yo,
That's
let's
hard
move
to say.
on. I'm tired of this.
Kanye West had a point. Beyonce did have the best music video of all time.
It was
Right.
true.
A long time.
There was no lie spoken in the moment.
Right, but the interesting thing is that year, that was for the best female video award that Taylor Swift won. But Beyonce ended up winning Video of the Year, the last award of the
Jonathan,
night,
doesn't
which is
matter.
probably
She's
the
still
most
It don't
deserves
matter.
it.
She
No,
got it
she
because
should've
they
got
know what
all
was
of it.
better. Let's keep it funky.
Okay.
Because
Another
Beyonce
thing,
is the
Jonathan,
best.
another thing, it overshadowed Beyonce's performance.
Absolutely did.
It
Okay,
did.
stupid songs.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad about it good because that song was.
And they were dressed
that was the
in
beginning of the end of the relationship with.
and that was that they were
They
wearing
were
yellow
besties.
because they supposed to be like dressed as tennis balls or something?
I
Like they
think
were
the Grammys the women wore yellow
I
because
think it was
Beyonce
like
wore
tennis
yellow,
balls.
Megan Thee Stallion wore yellow also. I don't know.
I think it was like
Tennis balls.
like tennis balls because tennis balls are that color, that kind of
right.
yellow
Okay.
neon-ish.
Green.
That's like
Greenish. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
give it up for
Yeah,
Blue
she's-
Ivy for doing her first debut performance with
Come on,
Beyonce.
choreography.
Hey,
Yes. All
Blue
right. So
Ivy in the house.
a couple
Shut
other
it
topics
down.
that we wanted to hit on. It's been reported that all 32 NFL teams are required to hire a woman or minority in offensive coaching positions
Lord.
for the 2022 season. Now we did have a story maybe like about a month or two ago, where there was a former Miami Dolphins coach that was suing the NFL for their lack of diversity in their hiring process for coaches. If you guys don't already know, the NFL is required to interview African Americans or minorities for coaching positions. They're not required to hire them, but they
Of
are
course not.
required to interview them. But this report is saying that they are required to hire offensive coaches for the 2022 season. So, do you think it's weird to me that they're only saying specifically offensive coaches? Is there a particular reason why they would just say offensive coaching? I mean, this is a great thing that they're doing, but I
It
don't know.
hasn't been done.
Let me ask you this: is this as a result of
lawsuit.
the lawsuit or no?
It might be. The Shade
Okay.
Room did not elaborate on that, but it might be in response to that to that lawsuit that started from that Miami coach.
Mm.
But it's, I mean, if they've made it a requirement, I think it is a great thing. I know a couple of years ago they had the first female referee that was, or
Yeah.
official rather, that was officiating
Official.
So sad.
an NFL game. So we'll see how it goes from here. But I'm happy to see
Absolutely.
that they're doing it.
Yeah.
I
And,
am too.
Regina, she took a step back here, but just to say, she said a video of Jada Pinkett Smith laughing after Will slapped has surfaced.
I saw that. It's
Like while she was in the
recorded
seat?
from behind her, so you really
Uh-huh.
can't see her face. But when she turns, you can tell that her mouth is open and she's smiling.
Oh wow! And Shaquille O'Neal also won an Oscar that night. Wow. Wow.
Well,
And Steph
hope
Curry.
it's funny.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they were together.
Hope it's funny when we hurt them pockets. I hope you still laugh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
As far as the NFL goes, I think this is a bold move forward for the NFL in terms of allowing people to pursue their dreams. A lot of people get stopped at this embargo line of
You can't coach any higher.
you
than
can't go no
college.
higher than this position. You know, you're like, oh, you went to school for this many years, you've been involved in this industry all this time, and all your stopping point is as a trainer.
But is it enough to have to hire an offensive line coach that is of color? That's wildly
Right,
specific. to me.
like for me, that really like dwindles down the chances of you getting another position. What if you wanted to
Still.
be a special teams coach or a head coach or a defensive coach? Like what about those other positions that coaches might want to?
Yeah, what
Well-
about
for?
cheerleader coaches?
So
In
I'm
the,
just playing.
in,
Sorry,
in,
guys.
in the hierarchy of NFL, the next person in line to the head coach is the offensive coach.
But they're not
That's
making any
true.
requirements to diversify. Apparently,
It's
they have to because they don't want to have anybody of color or another gender in these spaces.
right.
But
That's been a problem for decades.
yeah,
That
unfortunately,
they can't break over
um,
that color barrier or gender
NFL
barrier.
needs to go ahead and continue to attempt to get this right. Go on to the next thing because I can't stand that.
Absolutely. So Lizzo is launching her own size inclusive shapewear line called Yitty. It's spelled Yitty. So all the big girls or girls of all sizes, you're about to be able to get to see your own size in the store now. Okay, because we have a body inclusive meaning everyone is involved. Body inclusive shapewear. What is shapewear?
Like
Okay.
girdles, right?
Yeah, like basically
The
stuff to keep you
girdles.
cinched. But here's my thing,
That's
right?
this, yes.
Aren't
Snatch it up.
all shapewear inclusive, or I guess they're saying maybe Skims,
Well,
like from Kim
she
Kim
did do
Kardashian
an
don't include
interview.
everybody.
Kim Kardashian, really.
Mhm.
I would like somebody bigger to make me some shapewear. I
Agree.
need, don't just hide a road that's up and coming. I need you to
Ooh.
hide these three that's already here.
Ooh,
But
ooh, child.
she did do an interview on something, and she was saying that she's been big girl all her life, and she's been wearing shapewear since the age of 13. And she said they've been uncomfortable. They roll down. They've never been cute. They're they just uncomfortable. So she said, I just stopped at a certain age. She just stopped wearing them. But then she said she went to the store and seen like the shapewear section was like all messy, where people have like been picking over them. She said this might really be things that I can go into, and I think this would make her a lot of money if she does it correctly. Because I mean, everybody, skinny people wear shapewear, and
Yes.
the big girls and guys wear shapewear too.
Yes.
It's also Spinks out there for guys. I had one. I had a couple. I just stopped wearing because they are uncomfortable and they do roll up. But if she makes one that is, if she makes one the right way, I think this line could go
All right
to
now.
the sky for her. She can become a
Viral.
billionaire off shapewear because a lot of people wear shapewear. And it's
Regina
even
says-
better where you cannot even see over your clothes.
Oh wait,
It's a
Right.
winner.
if they can't clock it.
Okay.
All right.
This show is going to be great. Yeah, I probably won't be watching though, but no. Proud to the big girls.
Shout out to the next one too. Some
Some
shapewear is
shapewear.
for small people and don't have larger sizes for big girls. Okay.
Yes. And I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna get me some Yeti and I'm gonna wear it on the show on a Thursday.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's that shirt. Oh, it's Yeti.
All
Now let
right.
me ask, like,
Now,
is
I hope
it
it's price. I hope it's what's the word? What is it?
affordable.
Hope it's cost affordable.
Okay.
If it's not, then
Right.
you're gonna have. I would see Yeti from the far because
I'm trying to figure out how she came up with that name. Personally, I don't believe it's the cutest thing on earth, but
It's really
it's
not.
different.
Go
I like it
sis.
though. It's different, Yeti. I mean, I don't know where it came from either, but I kind of like it. I mean, how they come up with Spinks? I mean,
Yeah,
Spanx.
Thanks is great.
the spelling is a little bit of a problem for me. Just when I
Why?
see it, like just that Y at the beginning, it just does not make any sense at all. to me.
YITTY.
But it is what it is. Congratulations
And
to
this to Lizzo, yes. Do it for the big
Yes.
girls, girl.
right,
Yay.
exactly.
Do
So
it for the big
Big girl,
girls.
make something for the big girls.
um,
Maybe I can do a big male Spanx line. I don't see one out there.
It is out there. It's just a little bit more hard to find. That's the kind of stuff I find on TikTok.
Well, I ain't see that on TikTok. I see the girls one. I'm like, I should buy that one because
Just because
sometimes you do want to make sure. I don't have the kangaroo pouch, but sometimes depending on the shirt,
You
that's
know.
there's some do poke sometimes. So sometimes you need to flatten them down out, make like a pancake. But sometimes Spanx is flatten me so much you look wide. Like, this is my name, but never mind.
right.
Oh my God.
All right. And so
Lizzo.
lastly, I believe it was within the last week or so in Florida, the governor, I believe his first name is Mark and his last name is DeSantos. I think it's Mark DeSantos, but he signed a bill. It's called the Don't Say Gay bill, if I'm not mistaken, wherein kindergartners through third grade students aren't to be told by their teachers or discussed with their teachers. Jennifer?
It's
Right.
Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantos. Thank you so
Oh,
much for that. Ron DeSantos
Right.
has signed a bill saying that
Ronnie.
kindergartners through third grade, their teachers are not to discuss sexual preferences or gender identity with said students. So when this first came out, I felt a little bit indifferent about it. First of all, I was never taught sexuality in school to begin with. I don't know if
right.
that's because I grew up in the '90s or whatever the
What
case might
did
have
you?
been. But kindergartner through third grade, we did not
You
discuss
sure didn't talk about it?
sexual
Not me
Well,
either.
preferences
not
or gender
kindergarten through third
identity.
grade.
Well,
We
that's what
don't
we.
talk.
That's the grade we're talking about right now, and not first
Right.
to third.
Exactly. So for me, the bill doesn't sound that problematic. It sounds like, okay, so just in case this were to happen, we're going to put this bill here so that so that they can't say anything about this. Because it's not like it's in the curriculum to talk about sexual preferences or gender
Right.
identity. We know that's not the case, but this is a case where if a student were to ask a teacher a question concerning sexual preference or gender identity, they are not to discuss said topic with those children. So, what do you guys think about this bill?
Well, I've been thinking about this topic since the day you said it. Why? No, since you said it today. I feel like if you don't want to talk about sexuality in school, first to third grade, why does the bill have to say don't say gay? Why does it say don't talk about sexuality bill? Gay, straight, green, purple, blue. I don't know why it's referenced to gay. I don't. It just seems like it's. I don't know. I don't know. So
It's extremely
it just
specific, that's for sure.
yeah, it's very specific. I don't understand. And then also, like you said earlier, I don't remember talking about sexuality first. Really, I don't remember talking about it in any class. I taught sex in school, but sexuality, no.
Yeah, we didn't have sex ed till sixth grade.
Yeah, right. So, and what teacher would
And
talk
we
to
still don't talk
a
about
third grade
gay.
about sex or being? Well, you know what? We did have you talked about earlier on this show months ago that about a girl wanting to be a dog or a cat in school. So maybe times have now
Yeah.
changed. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can
Well,
maybe kids now are seeing a lot more because of TV and social media. We didn't have that stuff coming up in the '90s, so maybe they're seeing a lot more now on TV.
Right.
But I still feel like it's an innocence that kids should still have, being anywhere from kindergarten to third grade. I don't know, but I don't have a child, and I don't know. No, I have a niece, and she's 2, and she wouldn't even understand sex if I said it to her.
Right.
And I don't think when she's 3, she won't understand that either. So I don't know why this is even a bill, and why would kids even be talking about being gay or straight? Or they might say I have a girlfriend, but that's just what all kids do. They don't. It's no, it ain't nothing real.
Right. Again, I think it's a case of, this bill was made just in case a student were to
No.
approach their teacher with question about sexual preference and gender identity. That's
Well,
just what I'm taking from it.
well, that's fine. But I think the bill shouldn't be say don't say gay. I think the bill should say no to sexual identity, first to third grade. Well, maybe if you would have brought it to them like that, they're more so on the straight side. If anything, they just don't want it to be called gay. That's just the wrong thing. That's what I
Right.
feel.
Of course, it's
That's
emphasizing
the
that,
most. Yeah,
gay, don't say gay because, in this case, gay is seen as wrong. So that's probably why they called the bill Don't Say Gay, because
yeah.
we don't
And
want
then
to
we're gonna,
say this because we don't want our children to be this.
yeah, and we're gonna just
So,
emphasize saying no sexuality, so it can be okay.
right.
We ain't fool, girl. The bill is stupid. I don't know what you're doing. If the child want to be gay in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, guess what? They're gonna be gay.
Let me just quickly
uh,
read. I went to,
Say
my,
no to
my
gay
good
all you
old
want to.
Googles,
How you
you
doing?
know. Oh gosh. Um, I just went on to the good old Google and
Okay.
just to see what it has for us. And it says, in its preamble, the bill's author writes that their aim is to prohibit classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity. But later, the actual bill states that classroom instruction by school personnel or third parties on sexual orientation or gender identity may not occur.
But in first and third grade, who's talking about that anyway? Learn your
Right.
spelling
Like,
and your ABCs.
since when is it in the curriculum for kindergarteners through kindergarten through third grade? Like, we know they're learning their ABCs and one, two, threes. Like, they're not learning about sex, people.
Are you
Tyrone.
saying that if you don't talk about it in third grade, you're gonna learn how to
See,
be an adult? I don't know.
but see, here's one of the other parts to that. The instruction that they're getting at home is saying you can identify yourself as this. And then they expect them to take that same thing to the classroom and get that same type of respect and have the ability to be who they are. And it becomes a distraction to the class in itself. And this is the issue. And this is what he's trying to deter from happening. Is like, all right, parents, keep that stuff at home. Don't bring it to school. But the problem is you're trying to tell the parents how to parent, which is a no-no in the parent side. And this is where you're going to get pushback from both sides, those that are for this bill and those that are from against the bill.
If a child thinks he's a rabbit, it don't matter what the parents say no or not. He's gonna say he's a rabbit. If the child think he's a monkey, it's not gonna matter what we say or what bill is in place. He's gonna say he's a monkey.
But,
Like he's gonna be a child. It's a child. It's
Really quickly, the inspiration behind the brand name is rooted in Lizzo's childhood. Giddy is her nickname given by her auntie when she was young.
Okay.
Okay.
all right.
And she also says, before I do give my opinion, is why would you stop us from talking about a subject we want to learn about? Dumb DeSantis. Man, it's making me mad. Look, the way that I feel about this, okay, in my opinion, there's like absolutely no way that kindergarten through third grade teachers are out here talking about, all right, guys, so what does it mean to be gay? Can somebody raise your hand and tell me that?
Okay, like, let's be real.
Thank
No,
you.
there's absolutely no way that's going on inside of classrooms. What I personally believe is that they are in the process of putting out feelers, starting off somewhere. If I can get this sign, maybe I can get a sign so it won't be talked about in middle or high school. You know what I'm saying? Because like come on now, this
I get that.
we like even at home. Yeah, okay. I think the only reason why it would come up at home, like I think that I would have to have those conversations with my children a little bit earlier than some, because I will have Uncle Jonathan Lee, right here, and Uncle Mike around the children, and they're gonna be like,
But third grade, Lee will understand that I'm gay.
But it's like that's something for me to talk to my kids about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Third grade, you're looking at 7, 8
because you know how inquisitive children are.
Absolutely.
Right.
Especially if we all go out. I have Tyrone, another married couple comes, and y'all booze come, and it was like
the confusion starts.
Something looks
age.
different in this room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you said, the inquisitive.
But it's true. And also think about it with TV. They're never going to be able to escape that.
Absolutely.
So
Never. Not these days.
A gay couple raising a child feel about this bill. What if I have a second grader or a third grader, and this bill comes out, and it be my spouse that is the same sex?
To be honest, I'm not in their situation. I don't know for sure. But personally, I wouldn't care all that much, simply because this is in my home, and I'm going to teach my child what they need to know, especially with tolerance and things of that nature. So yeah, no.
And I'm sure the parents of that child, if they're living in Florida, in that area where that bill is, I'm sure they're going to tell that child, make sure when you go to school, like, you know the rules,
You know the rules.
what
You're
goes on
not
at
you're not a
home stays at
dog.
home, what goes on at school stays at school. So yeah, that's the thing with that. But I think you brought up a great point, Jennifer, because I think there may come a time in not the near future, but there may come a time where in sex ed we'll start to include LGBTQ plus education. I would
Think
not be
Relations.
so?
surprised if that were to
I wouldn't be
happen
surprised.
eventually.
It-
I'm not saying that will happen in the near future, but I'm pretty sure eventually, like maybe 100 years down the line, maybe, I don't know.
They don't
But
even have to make it gay. They can just say because straight people have anal sex too. Just talk about
Exactly.
anal
right,
sex. This
but
is
Sex
not a
and
part of
drugs.
penetration, and you said it through your condoms, and when
Yeah.
they go into the anus.
Yeah.
Tyrone.
but in certain states, they are already having this conversation in
Oh,
sex
Mm,
ed.
I didn't even know that.
Some
Yeah,
some are
it's
more
already there.
progressive. Of
They're
course, not in
way
third
more.
grade.
No, we're talking about
Yeah,
fifth,
third
sixth
grade, no,
grade
but
is when they're talking about these
Because
things.
kids are
okay,
learning,
okay,
and regardless of what kind of sex, dirty sex, money sex, all kinds of sex, it don't
okay. All
matter what,
sex, okay.
all
Every
sex.
sex,
Okay,
okay.
all sex. Like kids are learning about sex. They have access to the internet. We can't
stop that from happening.
we can't,
Yeah,
it's super difficult. Like we can guard and keep it away as much as possible, but they're going to see it. Their children, like you can hardly trust
I
other
learned from it
people's
first from school.
parents, other children's parents. Like, well, they let me watch this. Like, well, shoot, now my child's exposed to things, and now I have to have some kind of influence in my child's life and let them know, like, hey, this is what sex is. This is what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think as parents, I'm not a parent yet. I know I will be in Jesus' holy name, but ugh, but we will absolutely talk to them about sex as soon as they start having questions. I think that's maybe a
Of
problem
course.
sometimes because people, they see their child as a baby and they don't want them to get into this space, but it's inevitable and they're being exposed to it. Like I said, you can try to fight and block as much as possible, but it's going to happen.
Correct.
And you have to have those conversations. Don't leave it to the schools to educate. Like just like as far as African Americans, how we need to educate our children about our history,
Mhm.
because the schools are not doing it.
Not anymore.
Right.
Okay, you still need to. You can make sure that they are aware of, sexual positivity and all that stuff, so they won't become a bunch of sexual deviants.
And then even in sex ed, you don't even learn all that. They just teach you how to put a condom on, a
That's
penis,
about
and
it.
what the vagina is, and that's
And
it.
see, here's the vagina, then here's the uterus, and then like the fallopian tubes
And
and the eggs, and then the eggs come down here right like that, and then
Right.
yeah.
I still don't like the bill on third. On first, I don't know what's the bill on. I still don't understand the bill on kindergarten and third grade still, but
It's I just think they're just testing the waters.
you know,
want to learn more about the LGBTQ plus community.
Right. But
Well, just keep
it-
watching.
like you said, Jennifer, like when you turn on TV, like there are so many shows that have gay characters on there now. Like that is something that we
right?
did not see when we grew
Did
up.
not see.
And
Nope.
No.
that is going to cause certain children who are
Already
inquisitive,
has.
all children are inquisitive, to have some questions. And they're spending half their time at school and half their time at home. So, they're going to use half that time at school to ask those questions to their teachers. And again, I think that's why we put that bill in there so that those teachers will not be able to discuss those
Okay,
particular
well,
subjects with those
But
kids.
it should still say
I,
sexuality, not just gay to me.
but honestly, this shouldn't be a matter for state legislation. That should be a local thing for that school district to implement.
I personally don't even think it needs to be a thing. Why are we wasting our time on that? Because regardless, you're going to learn about it. It's going to be out there. Just like you need to be learning about the race and the history of African Americans here in this country. You need to be aware.
Well, same guy at the state of Florida wants to stop to talk about
I think if Americans would
slavery and
realize that,
racism.
if
hurt
Americans
your
would
feelings.
realize, I think non-gay people
Mhm.
have an issue with people being gay because they think it's just a choice. if people would realize being gay is something that you're just kind of born with that
It's not kind
mindset,
of they are born with.
we are born with it, then I think everybody will look at it differently, because I think people really think that we just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to be gay today," and that's not the case. So
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you see it on TV, see somebody at the restaurant together, at your local school, down the hall, next door. If you're straight, you're going to be straight. If you're gay, you're going to be gay.
It is what
I
it is.
understand why you don't want to see it on TV, or as far as little kids goes. I don't want to see any sexuality on TV for a little child.
Mm-mm.
But just know, guys, and straight people out there who's so against it, if your child is going to be gay, if the child is going to be gay, they're going to be gay. Nothing you can do to stop it. You can even turn the TV off for 55 years. They still would know how to do it, okay?
Oh, right. And
I like what you said there, Mike. Even if it's not homosexuality, they're going to see some kind of sexuality.
Right.
Period.
Music videos.
And I feel as though the reason why people think that it is a choice is because heterosexuality is seen as the norm. So when people go outside of the norm, people think, oh, they must have made the choice to go outside of the norm. They must have made the choice to do to go against the grain, as August Alsina said on.
Yeah, I want to go outside so I can just be judged and get picked on and be called my name.
Right. Exactly, but it all goes back to, it all goes back to the fact that because they're not in our shoes, they simply don't understand. And when you don't understand, then comes the ignorance, and then we have what we have now. But
anyway,
I personally believe it's not their place to understand. If you're not attracted to the same sex, why are you concerned?
That's my point.
Right.
My thing is, if you don't like how somebody's living their life, don't live your life like that.
Yeah.
The end. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. That's all I'm asking for.
Needs to be on a t-shirt. That needs to be on a t-shirt, Mike.
Right, but yeah, you don't have to understand it, because we know that you won't understand it unless you are part of the LGBTQ plus community. But all that we ask is that you respect it. Just respect it.
And no
not blackness.
You don't even have to respect it. Just respect that person. Respect.
Yes.
Jonathan.
Respect the person. Right.
And I ain't Chris Rock either, so try it.
All right. So we want to thank you guys so much for joining us for another night of hot topics and social commentary. Once again, we want to make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Make sure you subscribe. Again, make sure you subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment and press that notification bell. Mike, what's your social media platforms?
My social media platform is Mr. Real 121, MRREAL 121. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and also TikTok. So please join me on all social media apps. Thank you.
Jennifer, Tyrone.
I'm Jennifer, and I am the light. Well, excuse me, let's not put the D. I'm Light of the Leo in Instagram as well as TikTok. Won't you join me and stuff like that?
I don't know. I think it was just a little bird when I hit Light of the Leo. Like just a free-flowing bird.
This is Jaybird.
That's me.
That's my Jaybird.
Yes.
And I'm not single. I'm married to
me, Mr. TD McCullum, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I got some new music out. Come and check out and come enjoy the smooth, jazzy tune of Groove With Me.
Yes.
On all platforms.
And though he may not be single, this one right here. Oh God, I can't get it right.
You know where you can find her? Guess where you can find her?
Yes, I am on Instagram. My Instagram is JoJo_3020. I'm also on TikTok, JoJo_3020_. I'm also on Facebook, Jonathan Lee. So if you type in my name, I will appear. I am single.
Yes, he is.
To mingle. So if any suitors are out there, my email is also williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. So if you want to hit me up there, you can do that as well. But yes,
Get in his DM, you guys. He's a nice man.
right.
And
It'll be
He's
greatly
a
he's-
appreciated.
He's saved. He's
Okay, I'm looking for a
sanctified.
He loves
husband.
Jesus, y'all.
He loves Jesus.
Right.
He's
And he got a
honest.
story that he got down there about his life on his YouTube channel right here that you're on, that you're watching this right now. So all you gotta do is just subscribe and go through all those
And,
videos.
and if you hit him up, you better be
learn about it.
saved, sanctified, and holy and honest, because he has friends and siblings.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I'll Will Smith you.
Yeah, we talking. You know?
y'all are
Okay.
gassing me up all
And
the
don't,
way.
and don't you be bringing all them playful games that you be trying to play with people's
Oh
minds
my
and stuff.
gosh.
Either.
Sorry.
All right, be real when you come over to this doorstep.
Yeah, you know what? As the longtime sister of,
Long time. Sister. Yes.
of William Johnson Lee,
Since he was born,
you know, it's been a long time.
it's from day one.
It's been day one.
You
It's
been
been
here day
a long
one.
time.
A whole 32 years.
We
Yes.
were
Look at
real
that.
cool. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
And I just want to say, you know, only serious inquiries only.
Please.
Ain't nobody got time for the games.
Okay.
And
Anybody got time for that?
knowing my brother, he will spot it out soon.
And he's a Libra. He's like Will Smith.
Okay.
And
I
he
am a
has a
Libra.
nosy sister.
And don't make him
Oh
get
wait,
mad.
hold on, let me
He
stop. I'm
just
not
might
that
slap
nosy.
you.
No, he won't slap you.
No,
I'm
I
not that
won't.
nosy. You know what I'm saying? But I would but I would hope, you know, that you stay as true as possible. And if not, you know, you will be dismissed because he has
That's
a good
it.
mommy, daddy, and sister and friends and, you know, big brother-in-law and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mike will put hands on you. You know, I'm not
Okay.
going to
Allegedly.
fight anybody. Allegedly. this is not a threat. All we doing is just, you know,
We standing up for our brother.
we looking
all right?
out
Right.
for
We
our
looking
brother.
out for him.
Thank you so much for the gaslighting. I really, really, really appreciated it. So
Don't you
join
be
us
treating
next
Mike
week,
that way.
next Thursday at 9:30, same time, same place, same beautiful faces.
We
Until
love
that time,
y'all.
bye. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Get his DM.
Bye.
Yeah.